Davy, 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 Davy.
Los Angeles, St. Minneapolis, same atmosphere.
Last but not least, and of course not last, I've got a ton of these. We got Sleepaway Camp 1, 2, and Part 3. I love these movies individually. I think they're all great. I've gone through periods where I really like Part 3, or I really like Part 1, or, I really like Part 1 and Part 2, or I'm not really digging Part 2 right now. But I've watched these movies so many different times, and obviously the first one's the best, and I believe it's the best probably because it's so strange. I mean, you got really strange situations, weird killings, and just gory situations all together. These go for a ton on eBay. People love these slipcovers. I love the commissioned artwork here too. There's part 2, and then of course Part 3. Love them all. Here we go, another John Carpenter classic, and this is Village of the Damned. Probably my least favorite of the bunch. I don't know why, I just didn't dig it that much. Although Kirstie Alley, not bad to look at, especially in the early to mid 90s. And of course another John Carpenter film, the famous Starman, and of course Jeff Bridges is in this. I love Jeff Bridges. If you don't like Jeff Bridges, come on. Obviously John Carpenter did a really good job at directing him. I love the script in this, and it's a really good, caring story. It just touches the heart, It's like if E.T. was a human, you know what I mean? Love this movie. Carrie, what can I say about Carrie that hasn't already been said? Get this transfer, it looks beautiful. Night of the Comets. Come on, if you haven't seen this movie, I don't know what you're doing with your life. It's a very, very well shot film, and you can tell it was just very low budget, but I really enjoy it. Probably more of a horror sci-fi. If you get a chance, check it out. Phantasm Part 2. Come on, The Return of the Tall Man. Gotta love this movie. I really, really, really love the slipcover on this one. Terror Train. Come on, this is a classic. It's basically, they like to describe it as Halloween on a train. You gotta check this out. I love the commissioned artwork here. Night of the Demons, and this is a Blu-ray DVD combo set, and tons of special features here. I've seen this a couple times. It's not my favorite movie. I know people love it, so I highly recommend it. I think it's a good movie. I just haven't watched it over and over again like many horror fans do, so I need to go ahead and watch this just a couple more times to truly fall in love with it. Class of 1984. This is a fantastic movie, and it really captures that early 80s, teenage kind of gangster mentality. And it's different today than it was back then. Gangsters today, like gangster-esque teens nowadays, have their pants sagging, they're listening to hip-hop music, backwards hat, sometimes cocked to the side or whatever, and they're just thuggish like that. And back in the day, they had mohawks. They kind of looked punky, and then they have these like metal spikes on their jackets and just weird jewelry. I mean, it's kind of goofy. If you really want to see what a true 1980s kind of gangster, look at Michael Jackson's video for Beat It. There's a lot of 80s gangsters in there. Check it out. Candyman. No, not Willy Wonka. This is the Candyman can. It has a nice ring to it, doesn't it? No, this is the Tony Todd Candyman, and I was so excited when they brought this to Scream Factory. As usual, this is packed with extras, and I believe this is the secondary slipcover. Yeah, it's the secondary slipcover. So basically, when some of these collector's editions are released by Scream Factory, they have multiple commissioned slipcover art. And it's really cool. They'll offer you the slipcover, of course, and then a bonus slipcover, and even a poster of the slipcover art, which some people love those posters. I'm not a huge fan of this one, but in this case, I did get the secondary cover art. A 1980s suspense horror collection would not be complete without Mel Gibson, right? Mad Max, I've seen this movie one time, didn't really pay too much attention. I heard it's really good. Child's Play. Come on now. Child's Play is one of the best horror movies of all time. You talk about the top 3, right? We got Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger, or top 4. Freddy Krueger, Michael Myers, Jason, and of course, Chucky from Child's Play in the Child's Play series. The scariest red-headed puppet to ever commit murder. Pet Sematary 2. I really enjoyed this movie, especially when I was younger. I remember thinking it was a lot kind of funnier. There's a lot of dark humor in this. Of course, you got John Cena, you got Edward Furlong in this. You got to check this movie out if you hadn't seen it. I think they did really good to a follow-up to a classic that is Pet Sematary, the original. Pet Sematary 2 is a lot of fun. If you haven't seen it, I highly suggest you pick it up. The movie is called Life Force, also put out in the 80s. This is a Tobe Hooper classic, and actually, this probably came right after Poltergeist. And after watching this, you can totally tell it had a really high budget. So lots of miniatures and sets that they blew up, and it's pretty good in my opinion. Highly sought after. This also goes for a pretty penny on eBay, so pick one up. And Hell Night. We have Hell Night here, and Hell Night is starring Linda Blair, and this is more of a haunted house type of a film. Really good. Check it out. If you like Linda Blair, not bad on the eyes, right? Hopefully you check it out and pick one up. This film is called Army of Darkness, and I'm sure most of you have probably never heard of this movie. Wink, wink, right? Yeah, this is Army of Darkness. What hasn't been said about Army of Darkness? Come on. This movie is called Misery, and this is, I don't know, I'd say this is more of a suspense thriller rather than a horror movie. You got an obsessed fan. This movie is terrific. This is a fantastic transfer of the film. Kathy Bates is really fantastic in this. I believe she won Best Actress. Give this a watch. Pick it up. You really don't even need to be a horror film fan to have this in your collection. This movie is called People Under the Stairs, and I got it because I have people living under my stairs. No, I'm just kidding. This is called Dolls, and this movie is, of course, of the famous Stuart Gordon collection. I love Stuart Gordon. He's a fantastic filmmaker. Of course, another one we recently lost. Rest in peace. This movie is called The Burning, and I've only seen this twice. The first time I wasn't really even paying attention, and then the second time I watched it, I enjoyed it. It's kind of a campfire horror movie. That classic teens go into the woods chemistry, starring Barbara Crampton and, of course, Jeffrey Combs. Absolutely amazing. If you get the opportunity to check this out, it's a thinker. Lots of weird special effects. Okay, so with this one, Urban Legend, the mid-90s were full of these kind of teen Scream. Scream was this formula that a lot of directors and writers decided to replicate because they knew it can make money. And so what you got were these movies kind of like I Know What You Did Last Summer and Urban Legend, which I liked Urban Legend. I really didn't like it when it came out. It reminded me a lot of Scream, and I'm like, oh, look at this movie, so obviously trying to be Scream. When it came out, I didn't enjoy it. But to be honest with you, I've given this a couple more watches since then, and with this fantastic transfer, really enjoyed this movie. This movie is called Silver Bullet, and this is your run-of-the-mill werewolf movie, but it's from the perspective of a young child in a wheelchair of all things. And this is Corey Haim. And if you know me, you know I love Corey Haim films. Huge collector of any autographed Corey Haim item. Loved Lucas, loved Lost Boys, loved Dream a Little Dream. And I absolutely loved this cute kid, Corey Haim, in Silver Bullet. May he rest in peace. Have I said John Carpenter enough during this? Yeah, we got another John Carpenter. We got another John Carpenter film. This one's an anthology movie, and actually Mark Hamill is in this. So, always pigeonholed for being Luke Skywalker. He is such a good actor, and he has so much range on full display in this movie, Body Bags, written and directed by John Carpenter. Firestarter! I love this movie. Here's another one. Of course, I have it on Laserdisc, CED, VHS, and DVD, and now this gorgeous transfer by Scream Factory. Firestarter is Drew Barrymore. I think I might do a review of this movie. Drew Barrymore is so adorable in this early 80s horror movie, and oh, it's a Stephen King movie. Excuse me, it's a Stephen King book turned movie script, and Drew Barrymore is just so cute. She runs the show. She's just a little thing in this, and she is the main star. And anyways, she is just adorable. Most of you have probably seen this movie. If you haven't, pick it up, watch it, treasure it. You're going to love it. The Craft. All right, right before Scream, they shot The Craft, and then boom, Nev Campbell shot up into stardom. This movie is fantastic. It's a great teen thriller. At the time, I think it was aimed for people in their late teens, and I loved this movie when I was a teenager, and I still love it to this day. Now we're going to shift gears a little bit. We're still going to do Scream and Shout Factory Blu-rays, but these are not going to have slip covers. They're just going to be your run-of-the-mill Blu-rays like this. The Howling 3. It's not that great of a movie. Howling 1, legendary, right? Howling 3, they were just kind of phoning it in, to be honest with you. It's a fun movie, but please don't take it seriously. The Resurrected is a movie starring Chris Sarandon. Very suspenseful, well written. I like this movie. This is TerrorVision and The Video Dead, so you get two movies for one. I really enjoy this double feature. Both of these movies are unique in their own ways. I might do a review further down the road, so I'll just say that I love this. It's in my collection. Check it out. Okay, we got Carrie, the TV movie. Not, Stephen King's Carrie, not Brian De Palma's Carrie. This is Carrie made for TV. I believe it came out in the early 2000s. And Carrie 2, The Rage, which I really enjoyed. I enjoyed it when it came out in 1999, I believe, and I still enjoy it to this day. Carrie 2 is so good. I love this double feature. This film is called Pumpkinhead 2, Blood Wings, and I believe Punky Brewster is in this movie, Soleil Moon Frye, and this is kind of right after, I think this is like when she was a very young adult, probably 19 or 20. She wasn't even 21 yet. I think this is one of the first 10 Scream Factory releases ever. This is called The Town That Dreaded Sundown. You may remember Deputy Dewey Riley saying, "Oh, it's about a killer in Texas." Well, this is the movie he was talking about. It's a really fun movie. Not the best in the world, but really well shot. Super old. I believe it's from the early 70s, late 60s. This is another double feature. Troll, and of course, Troll 2. Personally, I think Troll 2 is better. Why do I think Troll 2 is better?
They're eating her. And then they're going to eat me. Oh my God!
We used to laugh at that so hard when I was in college. So funny. I thought this would be fun to show off. They Live, the Scream Factory release, and They Live in 4K with slipcovers. They're so cool looking. Obviously, I like the original movie poster better, but they did an okay on this commissioned artwork. It's alright. They did what they could. I like how it says "bye" right there. Bye. This is Prince of Darkness, the 4K HDR version. Scream Factory, about a little less than a year ago, decided we're going to go into the 4K market. They started with a couple, this being one of the first two. So they did They Live and Prince of Darkness, and this transfer looks absolutely gorgeous in 4K. These movies are called Shout Selects, and I've got a couple of them, so they're non-horror. They're just basically kind of reaching into the dramas and the comedies and stuff like that. The Burbs, people call it dark comedy. I really like this movie. This had one of the two Corys in it. Corey Feldman. Also had Tom Hanks. Check this out. Very Bad Things. If my cousin Robbie is watching, we thought we were so bad when we used to watch this. We used to watch this on VHS, my cousin and I, and we thought we were so bad. This movie, they get a stripper and they accidentally kill the stripper. Hello, it makes for really good cinema. This movie is called Where the Buffalo Roam, also another Shout Select. Oh, this cover is so great. This is Hunter S. Thompson, right? Just like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, except this is Bill Murray's take on it. And I think Bill Murray's alright. Johnny Depp, obviously, he's just in a completely different territory. But Bill Murray, he tries. He does okay. I love the cover art. Isn't that great? I love it. Hey, thanks for watching. And obviously, if you made it to the end of the video, you like what you're seeing. So please go ahead and like the video, subscribe, and share if you like it that much. And the reason we ended so abruptly here is simply because I recorded these videos out of sequence. Actually, it's one huge video, so I had to chop it up into thirds. So stay tuned for part 3, which will be coming soon. Again, thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, share if you like, and we will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.